Good morning, Productivity Patriots. Aidan Parker, my safety manager, with your Monday morning brief. Today I want to talk about blame and extreme ownership. So on one hand we have blame. Blame is simply the act whereby you surrender all of your ability or you surrender all of your discretion to make an impact on an outcome. Extreme ownership is exactly the opposite. Everything that happens around me happens in some way because of me, and I need to utilize that influence to own what is happening around me, take responsibility for what's happening around me, and change what's happening around me for the better, or to control risks or issues or problems before they actually happen around me. Reactive, proactive, can change, can't change. Poor safety culture, excellent safety culture. So I think the simplest way to put it, or the simplest way it's been explained to me, is the 1 finger, 3 finger rule. Is whenever you're pointing at somebody, you're pointing blame at somebody, essentially you're pointing 1 finger at them and 3 fingers back at yourself. You are the bigger idiot in this case. If there are things happening around you and you're pointing at somebody else trying to push blame on them, that's only part of the issue. The deeper issue is the fact that you are not willing to look at what the 3 things to one of their so where there's a fuck up, the one thing that they've done wrong is probably the result of 3 different things that you could have done to influence the outcome but chose not to at whichever point. Like my mate Peter Turin and Julian Pace say, easy to do, easy not to do. So when we have a look at this blaming and the impact that it could have on your culture, let's think about it. So a manager points and says, the reason why old mate slipped over in the workshop is because he's an idiot and he doesn't know he wasn't looking where he's working. Okay. What are the 3 things here? There's oil on the workshop floor because we've got faulty gear that we're not fixing. We're not fixing it because it's been reported. Fred's been reporting for the last 3 weeks before he slipped over. It's been reported, but nobody's done anything about it. Thirdly, the workshop supervisor spends all his time on seek looking for a new job because he hates his job. Because nobody gives him the resources he needs, or nobody gives him the leave that he needs, or whichever. But rather than uncovering this stuff, Fred's just an idiot because he slipped over on the floor. What a dickhead. I don't think that's the case, and I don't think that's the way to grow great safety culture in your business. And look, we talk about safety culture, but it goes across the board. It's quality workmanship, timeliness, mateship, commercial viability. All of those things actually come out of culture. Safety just happens to be a part of that. So that's a simple philosophy. Whenever you kind of look at sort of blaming somebody else, just think about these 3 fingers pointing back at you, and take that extreme ownership as to what it is that you can do to influence the outcome. So with the extreme ownership side, the proactive side is, we see that there is an issue. We could see that Fred could fall over before he does, and then we can ask those questions and find out what the actual root cause is before we even have the drama. We get our continual improvement. We've got everybody on the front foot. People understand that we're taking safety seriously, that we're asking clever questions, and we're not actually blaming the individual for things that could be going wrong in the workplace. There may simply not be enough money in the workshop budget to keep the equipment tip top. Is that Fred's problem? Frank's problem? I can't remember what I was calling him. No, it's a management concern. It's something that needs to be addressed by management. So let's have a think about that whenever we look to blame somebody. What else have I got here? When we do have a blame-free culture, or the way that this works, I'll post up a video later this week around near misses, because I think I'll sum it up better than I can in a morning safety brief. But essentially, where you're starting to have these genuine conversations around safety and not actually blaming people, then you can actually, it's not that you're giving people the authority to fail, or it's not like that you're making it okay to fail. That's not the case. What does happen, though, is that people actually have the opportunity to put their hand up and say, look, I don't understand this, or I think that this could be an issue, or geez, I just stumbled over that, that bit of that bit sticking out in the walkway. Geez, I almost had an incident. Perhaps we can do something about it, rather than, oh geez, no, I would never have anything close to an accident on site, because I know that we're zero harm and we're incident free and whatnot. Put your hand up, have the conversation. In all cases, whether you're management or out on the workforce, out in front of on the coal face, accept like take that extreme ownership. Accept that only you can really change your workplace. Don't rely on other people to do it for you. And like that, you kind of get rid of the blame. You've only got extreme ownership. You've got a workforce of proactive, engaged, genuine workers and conversation around how it is that you can do your work better, as opposed to always looking for somebody else to shoot. Thanks for that one. Like I said, I'll post up a video this week on near misses, which I think will help explain the position a little bit more from a safety space and the importance of near misses and more about that stuff that I was touching on at the end. Otherwise, for those of you still in bed, because it's a lovely public holiday here on the West Coast, enjoy your sleep in. Otherwise, the rest of us that are out there getting the job done, kudos to you guys, and I look forward to talking to you next week. Cheers.